The views and opinions expressed by the guests, listeners, and hosts of any program on Word Radio do not necessarily reflect those of the ownership, management, or advertisers of this station.
I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
We'll write something on the board. Let's spell it. First letter. What's the
It's time. It's time to have real, honest, open, difficult, and inspiring conversations. It's time for Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Hello and welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, online media, online and on on air at wordradio.com. What is happening tonight? Heavens to Murgatroyd. Happy Thursday to you. Happy Thursday, November 16th, that is. And welcome to the Friday of the Love and Life Week. So, to my fellow Scorpios, happy birthday to you, especially if you are celebrating a birthday today. And that includes our very own Nick Steptoe. If you will recall, I was sharing with you all that yesterday. That Nick had a birthday coming up. Well, today is it. Today is Nick's birthday, and he is celebrating as he should. And he's being celebrated. I pray for that. So happy birthday, Nick. Happy birthday. As such, we are joined in his stead this evening by Jordan. Jordan Booth, that is. Hi, Jordan. Welcome, welcome. Please show Jordan some love, family. Please do so. Please do so. So before we get started, I have some things that I'd like to share with you. You know I do. You know I do. The first of which is about the harvest. Word Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. Now through December 31st, visit wordradio.com to find information on upcoming give back events in the Philadelphia area. If your organization is hosting free clothing giveaways, food drives, free workshops, community dinners, and more, please share the details using the form on our website. Visit wordradio.com/the harvest and look for the harvest banner. Family, it is harvest time, and we're sharing information on those giving back to the community. The harvest is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First, and the United Way. We are Word, Progressive Black Talk Media. The second thing that I want to share with you is a reminder. I want to remind everyone that we need your support. The support from our community, that is. Our Forward and Up campaign has an unprecedented goal for Word Radio to recruit 2,000 members of the Forward movement. Now, I've been telling you this, and I'm going to tell you again. I believe in Word. Do you hear me, family? And because you are listening, I happen to believe that you do too. So, if you are not already a member of the Forward movement, well, now is the time. Go to wordradio.com and click on membership. It's right there at the top of the page. Help us to reach our goal of 2,000 members in our 20th year of Black Talk Media. And lastly, family, ooh, we still have some tickets left. And I'm hoping that a pair can be yours. The Lantern Theater presents the play Crumbs from the Table of Joy on Friday, that's tomorrow, November 17th at 8 p.m. at St. Stephen's Theater, located at 923 Ludlow Street, right there in Center City. Crumbs from the Table of Joy follows the Crump family and their two daughters, who are on the cusp of adulthood and are chafing at their father's religious strictures. Their big dreams for the future are encouraged by their lively and fearless Aunt Lily. Written by two-time Pulitzer Prize winner Lynn Nottage, this play gently reveals the fun and funny and touching struggles of a family trying to make a fresh start in a strange world full of temptations and surprises. Family, we are giving away a pair of tickets to the first caller to dial 215 634 8065. Know that you cannot win, though, if you've won a prize from us in the past 30 days. Proof of vaccination is no longer required and masking is optional, but both are strongly recommended. Family, that's the Lantern Theater's Crumbs from the Table of Joy this Friday, which is tomorrow, November 17th at 8 p.m. at St. Stephen's Theater, located at 923 Ludlow Street. Well, all right there, family. So you know what time it is. And for those of you who don't or may be unaware, what we like to do is we like to check in. That's what we do. That's what we do. We call it a roll call, if you will. So, family, if you are joining us by way of socials, let us know by sharing a comment, and I will do my best to read it aloud. I promise. I promise. Or you can even give us a call. You can do that by dialing 215 634 8065. You can even call us toll free by dialing 1-866 361 0900 if you'd like to share some love with us verbally. You know, any way you share it, we appreciate it and we love it. Okay? Just know that. Know that. And I'm talking to you. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm talking to you, each and every one of our family members whose hearts are heavy or whose lights are shining just a little dimly. Okay? I'm talking to you. I just want you to know that you are loved and you're not alone. On behalf of your entire tribe and village, I just need you to know that. Okay? So I'm sending you some extra love and some extra hugs. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Put them in your pocket. Okay? All right. Before I introduce you to our first guest of this evening, I want to acknowledge some of our family members who are checking in on our socials. Malcolm is checking in. Hey there, Malcolm. Malcolm, you said I'm going to be on time tonight. He is joining us from West Mount Airy. Always happy to see you. Always. Nasir is joining us as well, and he sends peace and blessings to us all. And Nasir, yes, I did. Oh, yes, I did. So Nasir has asked me if I got to see Macbeth in stride. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I really did. I really did. It was, oh my goodness. It was I love the different take, and because I was familiar with Shakespeare, familiar with the story, it just made it all the more interesting to see it done differently. Let me know what you thought, though. I want to know what you thought. I'm so curious to know. And Jordan, you're getting some love from the family. Nasir says, "Peace, brother, peace." And Malcolm shares a "What's up? What's up?" He said, "What's up?" Harry is joining us as well. Hey there, Harry. He said, "Hey, family, I'm checking in." Well, we're happy to have you. Like I said, we love the love any way we get it. It's so appreciated. So, family, like I was sharing with you as we get started, I want you to meet one of my good cookie girlfriends. When you say it's a good cookie, then you already know. You know what's going down. She knows all my business, all my life. Yes, she does. And I trust her with it. I sure do. Um, well, you'll hear us talk about some things, but I mean, from day one, you know how you say you have some day oneers? Well, from day one, from moment one, when we met, that's what it was. It was just like, hey, girl, hey. And then it was just love from there. She too is in radio. She is an air personality. Um, and what you see on her show is exactly who she is. She's just a light. She's a beacon. But she's also, as a matter of fact, you guys heard me talk about her when I was sharing with you about the vitamins and my herbs, because as a result of her sending me some herbs when I was sickly, I I use those herbs every day. I put them they go in my hug in a mug. You all you know what I'm talking about, my breakfast. I have my matcha latte. Well, that's my hug in a mug. And because of her, I have my hug in a mug every day with my immunity booster. And so, family, for those of you who are unaware, her name is Pepper Thomas. She, like I told you, is an on-air personality, but she is also the host of the Hot Pepper Show. And it is for a radio station in Austin, Texas called KAZI. That's 88.7 FM. But on this show, she hosts an eclectic array of R&B and neo soul mixes, and she interviews her guests as well. But I want you to meet her, so I'm going to stop talking. Okay, I'm just excited and happy to have her. So, family, I invite you to the conversation with none other than Pepper Thomas. Hey there, beautiful.
This is the craziest thing, right?
What?
I'm not used to being on this side. I'm used to being over there. Like, so to hear someone introduce me is like, what?
You know what?
I never get an introduction.
Well, you know what? I can understand. I overstand. How about that? Because when you hear somebody talk about you, and especially somebody that knows you, you feel like,
Mhm.
what's she about to say? What's
I
she
know
gonna say? What's she
you
about
know
to
me
say?
too. You know me. You know me. I'm kind of scared. I'm like, I plead the fifth.
You know it's all love here.
Yes,
You
yes,
now, Pepper, because you come and hang out with us.
I do.
So you know what it
Yes,
is. You know it's
I know
all
what it is.
love here.
Yes.
I want to take a moment to go back to our socials because our family members are continuing to check in, and we encourage that. You know how we are here.
Mhm.
Mike Upshaw, hey there, Mike. So great to see you. So great to have you join us. Always happy to see you here. And Nasir shares that there were some singing sisters in the play Macbeth in Stride. It was really good. They portrayed it very well. They did. They did. So, family, for those of you who are unaware or unfamiliar, just a sidebar, mixing apples with oranges right now. We had a guest, Whitney White, and she was sharing with us about her play, Macbeth in Stride. Well, I went to see it yesterday. And
Oh,
Nasir went
wow.
to see it last week. And we
Yes.
said we were going to talk about it to share with you all. I thought it
Uh-huh.
was awesome. I really did. I thought it was
Nice.
awesome. I thought it was done nicely. I mean, everybody, they sang their faces off. Okay. And the music was awesome. Everything was just done so really well. It was really, really, really done well. Yes, yes, yes. Harry, don't you yell at me because I feel like you yelled at me. I'm going to put her info in the feed. Yes, I am. I'm going to put Pepper's info in the feed, switching back. Switching back. Harry said, well, put her info in the feed. I sure am. I sure am.
Hi, Harry.
And Eugenia, overseer Eugenia Turner. Well, hello, beautiful. Shalom, she
Hello.
shares. So welcome. So welcome. So happy to have you here. Pamela Nichols.
Hey, Pam.
Blessings. Beautiful. Thank you for joining us as well. Pepper, all of you, listen, you've got all this love. All this love.
Hey,
Summer
Summer.
Guerin. Yes.
She's a part of the
Okay.
Hey Baby
You
that I was telling you about.
we
So
oh
you're
see
gonna
we
have
got to
them
talk
on the
about that
show.
too.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Brother Raphael is joining us and is sending a good evening to everyone. Kimberly Bailey is joining us.
She's
Hey,
the founder of Hey
beautifuls.
Baby. She's gonna be on there too. So yeah.
Heaven, Murgatroyd, and
Mhm.
Tiara Shania is
That's my
joining
niece.
us as well. I love it. I love it. Look, listen, look at
Monique.
Monique Jackson. You know what, y'all, family? I love it. I love it. I'm so busy saying hello. I know our family members who are listening and are not watching are saying to listen. We want to know who Pepper is. We want to hear all about Pepper. Well, Mike Upshaw says, welcome to Philadelphia. And
Oh, thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.
So for those of you who have just joined us and are unaware, she is the hot Pepper show. Okay.
Yes.
She is. The show is hers. It's all about her. And it is love. It really is. It really is. I was sharing, well, Pepper, I don't know if you heard me say, but I was sharing with our family members that when we met, it was just, hey girl, hey girl, hey. And it was just love. It was just love.
Yes, it was love. You had just gotten off the stage. You were with Will Downing,
Mm-hmm.
and we were at the hotel. I wasn't at the hotel because of Will. Don't get that
No, oh no, no, not
I
like
wasn't
that.
at the hotel like that.
No.
I was at the hotel, but I wasn't at the hotel. So, so we walk in, and I'm like just taken back because, of course, I had been playing your music, but had never met
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And walked in, saw Carol, and I was like, "Hey, girl, I'm the paparazzi queen." So I was like, "Hey, girl, we gotta take a picture." So I'm like, and she's like, "Girl, no, I ain't got no makeup on. No, you can't take a picture like this." And I says, "Yes, I can." So I took a picture, and I don't share it. I share it with
Sure
her.
did.
Sometimes I go, "Hey, you remember this photo?"
And then we have like 3 more where I didn't
Yes,
have, but I don't even look, girl. Now
it doesn't matter.
because you've seen me all over the internet, and you see me now with no makeup on.
Me
Okay,
too. Me too.
okay. Oh, well, you look beautiful. What are you talking?
Girl,
What?
I did this because I was coming on here with you. So I was like, "Oh no, you ain't gonna look like that." Yeah, you better put some
She
stuff
is
on.
beautiful. Don't you listen to her, y'all? Don't you listen to
Yeah,
her?
yeah,
But
Mac.
Pepper, it was so important to me to have you come on, not just because of your show, because I love her show. I love, love, love her show. But it's not just because of the show. On the show, she spotlights, but let me tell you how. Let me tell you something. She's about to put me to shame. On her show, when I tell you she researches, like she will find your first grade teacher. Do you hear me? You will be on her show as a
That's so bad.
guest,
It's not that
and she will have every single
bad. No, it don't.
tidbit of information, okay, which is a beautiful thing. But it shows, no, really, it shows just how much you care.
Yeah,
It really does. It shows just how much you care about your show, about your guests, about what you do and what you represent and what you are presenting
thank
to
you.
others. But I love that. I love
Yes.
that so much. And she works tirelessly to make sure her show is the hot
The hot
pepper
yeah.
show. Yes, it is. Yes,
And
it
I love
is.
to hear you pronounce every single
Not you
letter
too. Not you too.
presenting
Not,
pepper. No, it's not pepper. It's pepper.
it is pepper. Not you too, pepper. Not you too.
Yes, you. Yes, yes,
Y'all,
yes.
they all tease me. They tease me, y'all. They tease me. But what we're going to do, so we're going to take a short commercial break in just a moment. But when we come back, Pepper, because I'm so excited, I've gotten away
Mhm.
from the reason for having you here. I would love for you to share with our family members when we come back how, from where the idea of doing the hot pepper show came. I would love to share that with our family members. For those of you who have just joined us, yep, I'm talking to you. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We are talking with Pepper Thomas of the Hot Pepper Show. She's out of Austin, Texas, and she's visiting with us
In
tonight to share
Philadelphia.
with us. Yes, yes, yes. To share with us what's going on and what's been going on. She's going to share with us her journey.
Mm.
And it's an exciting one, I must say. It
Yeah, it
definitely
is.
is. It is. It is. So, family, you are always welcome to join the conversation, and you can do so by calling. You can do that by dialing 215-634-8065 or toll free at 1-866-361-0900, or you can feel free to comment on our socials. But whatever you do, stay with us because we will be right back.
Get ready. Our 7th annual empowerment experience is coming. Join Word Radio Saturday, December 9th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Enon Tabernacle Baptist Church Family Life Center, 2800 West Cheltenham Avenue. This year, we acknowledge the Kwanzaa principle of cooperative economics through Ujamaa with a culture-filled holiday marketplace experience featuring artisans and creators of color. You can shop from creations featuring jewelry, clothing, pop-ups, and more. There will be health screenings, job and career resources, and empowering conversations. Interested in vending? Call the station at 215-425-7875 and hit sales for more information. The empowerment experience is free, and keep it locked to Word Radio or visit wordradio.com for more exciting details. Save the date for Saturday, December 9th. Give the gift of culture this holiday season. The 2023 Empowerment Experience is sponsored by Comcast, Keystone First, Bank of America, Brown's Family ShopRite, Dietz & Watson, Hers, and Pico.
King C. Gillette wants you to have noticeably better facial hair, and they make it easy. Just trim, wash, and soften for facial hair that feels as good as it looks.
Severe flooding from recent hurricanes and other storms has left hundreds of thousands of cars, trucks, and other vehicles unsafe to drive. Flooded vehicles are supposed to be dismantled for usable parts or crushed for scrap, and a flood title should be issued to that car. But some shady dealers will buy a flooded vehicle, clean it up, and get it retitled with no indication it was flooded. Or uninsured cars will be cleaned up by the owner and sold online, also with no warning to the buyer. If the price is too good to be true, it probably is. Make sure to check for flood damage and have a qualified mechanic inspect the vehicle before you write a check. The free VIN check service from the National Insurance Crime Bureau is a good place to start. Head over to nicb.org to check it out.
To report fraud, call us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. This is a public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Stay politically minded and informed with the Black Women's Leadership Council, Fridays, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on WURD, 900 a.m. and 96.1 FM. Progressive Black Talk Media. Streaming online at wordradio.com, on social, and on the Word Radio app. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Oh, well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD. I'm trying to tell you that everything that can happen tonight is happening. I think my energy is transferring. I'm on 10. So everything is just going crazy. But that's all right. That's all right, because guess what? It's all good. It's all good. I do want to share with you, Pepper, that Mark Pena says he loves your name. He loves
thank
that.
you, Mark.
He loves that. And Pamela Nichols shares, I'm so glad Pepper let me in her life because I stalked her.
She did.
That is so funny.
In front of IHOP.
Oh, that is so funny. I want to take a moment to go to our phone lines. One of our family members is calling in to join the conversation. Hello, and thank you so much for calling.
Hi, Cal. Hi, Miss Pepper. Before I get a chance to speak with you, I want to say this to Nick. Have yourself a lovely birthday. May God bless you with health and strength. And thank you for being Cal's producer, because you have produced it, a wonderful thing. I bear witness. The flower is stronger than anything of a stiff nature, like a lion or something like that. So happy birthday. Now to Miss Pepper. How you got that name? They say you was in South Philadelphia, you bought you a steak sandwich. You told the man to put peppers on it. He put the peppers on the steak. You said, I didn't know it was like this. You got to step in to get some water. You went home and put on some high heel red sneakers. And the man who sung the song, put on your red sneakers, Miss Pepper. Put your red on your head. And after that, Miss Pepper, somebody seen it. And your eyes they turned a little red. Your lipstick even got redder. And they said, you step on, sister. You know, and because they call you Miss Hot Pepper, you know, my name is Pop Know Something, the old rapper. This rapper is for you and Cal. A nickel is a nickel. A dime is a dime. And I conquer America. Both of y'all are mine. That doesn't have love in life, because that's what it's about, Miss Pepper. I know you have a lot of programs. It's what you give in life that's so important, man. I'm going on 81 years of age. People like me. And the other night we was able to come out with WRD. And Cal was performing, she was singing and all like that. And one of the elders in the audience got sick. Cal immediately switched over and went into prayer, praying for that woman. Then the WRD family that was there, we began to pray for her. And I put this in my imagination. And I imagine after the lady heard that we prayed for her, somebody prayed for her, it had to bring tears to her eyes. And she started singing. I cried all night long because somebody prayed for me. And continuing in your life, man, all of y'all, all of us, let's continue to give love and hope. Love must be a verb, man. It's an action. And Calvin, if Dr. Z come on after you interview her, will you answer the question, what type of therapy it's going to take with what my eyes are seeing on television, man, with all the people that are losing their lives, the family members, the children? I wonder what type of therapy that can be done with that. My therapy would be you have to go to God and ask God to bring some healing. But this thing was just taking in front of us in this world today, it would never be forgotten. But only Jesus can heal. Only God can heal. And that maybe we look at that situation there and become more kinder and more compassionate with one another. So both of y'all have a lovely night. And remember, always look on the bright side of life, Miss Pepper. You can look on the bright side of life. Because when you look on the bright side of life, you can make somebody else's life and light to shine a little better. Your mother would say it's better to light one little candle and to curse the dog. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you so much always for your love and your positivity and for your transparency as well. Thank you. Just thank you so much. Pepper, so again, I do want our family members to get to know you as I have. As Ron said, he was talking about your name, and Mark says he loves your name. Please tell us first about your name. I should start there. How about that, right? I'm so used to calling you Pepper.
My name was given to me by a friend of mine in radio. I called him up, and he was at a station in Dallas, and I said, "Hey, I want to start doing radio." And he's like, "Oh, you'd be great. You'd be great. You got the personality, you got the energy." And I was like, "Yeah, but I need a name." And so he was like, "Okay, let's see. Let me go to my book." So he went to this book and he says, "How about Pepper? How about Pepper Thomas or Pepper or Stormy Nights or something?" And I go, let me do the Pepper. And he says, "Okay." And he says, "Are you going to use your last name?" I says, "Yeah. And then when I make it famous, when I make it big, then my name will be Stormy Nights." And so the story to that is I haven't made it big yet. So I just stay with Pepper Thomas. So
Yes, you have. Yes, you have.
I mean,
But
it's
you can't change it. We love Pepper Thomas.
Thank you.
We love the name and we love you.
Thank you. I
So
love you.
you know I love you. So tell us, please, for our family members who do not know or are unaware, about how the Hot Pepper Show came about.
The Hot Pepper Show came about because I love music. I grew up in a family. My dad, a quartet singer. My family sings. I have 3 sisters. I have one of my nephews plays drums. My mom plays the piano. I play the piano. And so I've always been singing, and we've always had music, and there's always been music in the house and music around everywhere. So I would always listen to the radio because I grew up on Peter, Paul, and Mary and the Beatles, and that was what I was listening to. And I thought, man, I want to do radio one day. So I went into a radio station that I've been at for 36 years and went in and I says, "Hey, I want to do radio." And I had to do an internship for like 6 months overnight while working. So I would go in at midnight and do an internship till like 5 or 6 in the morning and then go to work. And then I came in one day because someone didn't show up. And I got a slot from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Saturday mornings. And she didn't show up 3 times. And they says, "Hey, you want the air shift?" And I was like, yeah. So started doing the air shift, and I wouldn't talk. I would say nothing. I would go in and they'd be like, hey, the show sounds great, but can you say something? I was like, why do I have to talk? And they go, because it's a radio station. And I go, well, no one told me I had to talk. I just want to play the music. They're like, no, you got to talk. I says, okay. So then the next weekend, I think I only said the ID at the top of the hour. So I only talked 3 times. It was like, yeah. So they were like, okay, look, you gotta talk. And I was like, people are listening. I don't know what to say. But like, it's radio. So yeah, so for me to get comfortable with talking, they gave me this trick. They told me, they says, hey, get a mirror, and while you're talking, put it in front of you.
Oh no.
So I would put the mirror in front of me behind the mic, and I would talk to the mirror. And that's how I started being able to, because I'm a talker. I mean, I love talking.
Yes.
I got in trouble in school because I talk too much. But it's like on the radio, you're like going, there's nobody in front of me, and I'm talking to this mic. It was good. Yeah. So yeah.
You
So
know,
that's
that is
how
so hard for me to just
understand that.
yes.
It was weird. It was like really weird. And for the longest, I just became comfortable. Like maybe 5 or 10 years ago, I just became comfortable with someone being in the studio with me. Because
Wow.
I'm doing so many things, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm answering the phone, I'm talking, I'm online. So I don't like distractions. And people want to always come in and talk to me. And I'm like, why are you talking
Right.
to me? I'm on the radio. Like, why are you? Yeah. So people know that, don't come in the studio. Just let me do my thing. Just give me my space. But yeah. So I've gotten better with it, much better with it.
Well, we would never have known had you not shared that with us. I mean, I'm so serious. You know, because you're such a warm human being. You're such a warm woman. You're a warm person.
I love
Like,
people. I love people.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, you do.
I love
I know
people.
that. Yes,
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
I
So yeah.
mean, like we just shared the story of when we met. Like, listen,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
and to hear you say that you had some difficulty, like, I don't know about that. I don't know about the
Girl, yes,
talking
I did.
part.
And my
So,
first interview was Marvin Cease, Mr. Candy Liquor.
yeah.
And they said, Pepper, can you interview Marvin Cease? I was like,
Uh,
you mean Marvin Cease, the guy that has a song called The Candy Liquor? And they were like, yeah. And I go, what are we going to talk about? Like, I'm going to ask him, what does that mean? Like, what are we going to? And he says, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. My first interview. And I was like, oh, I can't do this. So he sat down and he looked at my breast the entire time. He was like,
shut up, Pepper.
so Pepper. I was like, what is going? I was like, you want to be my great grandfather? Like, really? Like, yes. It was very uncomfortable. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, what I was asking, what does candy liquor mean? I don't know. What are we talking about? Yeah.
Oh my,
Crazy. And then he wanted me to come
that's
to the concert. I'm gonna ask my limo. Guys can pick you and your girlfriends up. I was like, that's not happening. Yeah. That is not
now
happening.
I could hear you say that. That's not happening.
That's not
That's
happening.
not going to happen.
That's not going to happen. Yeah.
Thank you for the invite, but that is not going to happen.
Yeah. So I went from Marvin Cease to my second interview was the Ghetto Boys. Scarface was the best. Willie D was, let me do my disclaimer. But yeah, okay. And then Bushwick Bill was running around the studio, and I was like, and Scarface was like, Pepper,
okay,
just ignore him. He just, I was like, going, what is he doing?
Pepper.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a story.
Uh-oh.
No, so those of you who are unfamiliar, my very, very first tour was a 10 rap group tour. I was touring with Jeff and Will, with Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I'm sorry. So I was touring with Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And it was when they were doing, when they had Home Base, that album was released. So Summertime was popular. And so, but the Ghetto Boys was one of the groups of the 10 rap groups. And Bushwick Bill used to scare me. I was scared of him. Because his energy, he was always on 10.
Yes,
and he was always running around. He would just come from nowhere and he'd be running around. He used to scare the crap out of me.
Yes.
I mean, it sounds crazy as I say it now, but no one else paid him any attention. The guys, he used to terrify me.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, really.
You just sit there and go, okay, let me just leave the room because he's doing too much. Yeah, he's doing too much.
He was like you. So you'd have on the tour was Public Enemy, 357, Queen Latifah, MC Light, Kid and Play, Jeff and Will, the Ghetto Boys, Kid Capri, and I'm forgetting the other two artists. But you've got all of this energy and every day, but he would be the one person you would see him dart from somewhere or come from out of somewhere, and I used to tell Jeff, he scares me.
Yeah.
He scares me. But he was nice, but he scared me.
Yes.
He did. But in any event, so that's a little history of my own that you all probably did not know. But okay, so your second interview was the Ghetto Boys.
Ghetto Boys, yes. Yeah. So I do radio. Every Saturday from 3 to 6. And I have a podcast. I have a podcast that I started a year ago that you've been a part of. You guys need to check out Carol Riddick. She was my guest. She's coming back too.
Yes.
So I do that on Mondays at 7 p.m. And and the website, you guys, the website is thehotpeppershow.com. Check that out. It has all the information. And
so I put that in the in our comment section so our family members could know as well. But so now you are on from Saturdays every Saturday.
Every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Central time. Yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure our family members knew. Central time, 3 to 6 p.m. Central time. And look, they're laughing at our stories. I want to share that Tammy Riley is joining us. Hi, beautiful. Dion is as well.
Hey, Dion.
And Kay Avery is joining us as well.
Okay.
Hey there, Henry. Happy to see you join us as well. I was wondering, so where's Henry? Harry. Okay, so Harry wants to know what time is that in Eastern time?
On the Eastern, it would be 4 to 7 Eastern time.
Yes.
4 p.m. to 7.
Andrea shares, hello, my beautiful Pepper. Hello. And Kimberly shares, that's interesting. She's probably talking about all of what we just shared. She's probably, but Summer says, I'm loving these stories. And Malcolm says, hey, Pepper.
Hey, Malcolm.
Family, for those of you who have just joined us, welcome. How about that? Welcome, but you are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick. And I'm joined tonight with one of my good cookie girlfriends, Pepper Thomas. And we're talking about her journey. We're talking about life. We're talking about everything, a little bit of everything. We really are. But we are also inviting you to the conversation. So feel free to give us a call. If you choose to do so, you can do that by dialing 215-634-8065. You can even call us toll free. And you can do that by dialing 1-866-361-0900. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But you can also feel free to continue to comment on our socials. But whatever you do, we're inviting you to stay with us because you know we're coming right back, right? You know we are. Family, stay with us. We'll be right back.
And now,
in the midst of challenging times, our Black spaces, our voices, and our stories are under attack. Our goal? To reach 2,000 members by the end of the year. We need your support now more than ever. Word Radio has been your trusted source for Black talk media for 20 years, and we want to continue making history for another 20. This is urgent, and the time to act is now. Help us move forward and up to reach our goal. Visit wordradio.com and join the movement. Let's stand together. Let's make a difference. Go to wordradio.com and become a member today.
JD's Auto Body and Painting, Philly's premier painted body shop, provides everything you need for expert auto body repairs. Car accidents are an unexpected occurrence. It's stressful, interrupts your life, and causes unexpected expenses. So let JD's professional staff and expert technicians relieve your stress and get your car back to pre-accident condition fast. Get your free estimates with 10% savings today. Call 215-848-5949. JD's Auto Body and Painting, Wayne Avenue in Washington Lane in Philadelphia. Gets the job done right the first time. Expert workmanship, frame service, top of the line painting, detailing, free towing, claims assistance, deductible help, and all work is guaranteed. Find out what it feels like to be a valued customer. Call 215-848-5949. Philly's leader in auto body and painting, JD's Auto. Visit JD's Auto Body and Painting Inc.com. Hey, this is Doug Henderson, and I trust my car repairs to JD's Auto Body and Painting.
Why is Word important to the community?
Thank you for asking.
Let me count the ways.
And it's one of the most important radio stations in the country.
Word has always been a platform for Black people in Philadelphia.
We're one of the only Black-owned talk radio stations in the country. We're one of 4 in the nation.
You know, a lot of what's going on in the world today, I think, is a result of people feeling like they don't have a voice.
Without Word, we wouldn't have such educated, loving, caring people of color who really are interested in what's going on in neighborhoods around the city.
Word creates such a sense of community in the Black community here in Philadelphia.
It amplifies the voices that are mostly marginalized.
It allows you to speak and be heard and to create your own narrative, your own story.
It's a place where we can share our thoughts, our ideas, our dreams.
You control who and what you say about yourself.
Every community needs a hub.
We are 20 years strong, giving voice to the community, and without the community, there will be no Word. We are one and the same, and it is not a game. WURD.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Hey there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with my beloved, my boop, Pepper Thomas, that is from the Hot Pepper Show. And we've been talking about a little bit about everything. Nasir shares, Carol, this is your twin. Y'all are Pepper.
Nasir, that's my twin over there. Yeah,
that makes okay, 20. That makes so much sense. Yes, this is so true. And Eric is joining us. Hi there, Just Rick. He shares, hi Pepper, keep spicing things up.
Oh, thank you, Just Rick. Hi.
And hi there, Monique. She shares, Carol, I first heard you years ago by listening to the Hot Pepper Show. I have been an avid listener of her show for 10 plus years. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. So much. Now, that was one of the questions I was going to have, but we have so much to talk about. I should share that with our family members because I really wanted them to be aware of your show, but I also want you all to know, family, that Pepper and I are not just friends as a result of, music, as a result of our love and music and people and radio. We bonded on a friend level. We bonded on a sister level. We bonded on a twin level. Quite honestly, we have shared, like I said, she knows my life. Yes, she does. Okay. She knows the secrets and all that good stuff. Okay, look. Okay, that's love. That's called love. And Pepper is the person that will call me and she'll say, okay, so what's going on? Not having seen me, not having talked to me, not knowing about anything other than a feeling. Pepper is that one. Pepper is the one that will say, okay, come on, talk to me. Or when we do talk, I've been trying to reach you because your spirit has been heavy. I've felt it. Something's going on with you. That's who we are to each other. That's exactly who we are to each other. And I'm always, trying to work through whatever emotion it is that is making me feel heavy at the time. But Heather, who is Heather? Pepper is so Lord, who is Heather? Heather, where are you? I don't know who Heather is. I don't know who she is. But Pepper helps me to weather the storm. And we've had those conversations where we talk about life, and then it's a good cookie moment. We have a good cry, we cleanse, and then we say, all right, girl, so what's next?
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
keep it pushing.
Yeah.
So we help each other to recharge.
Yes.
If you will. We help each other to recharge. And I love that because now y'all know you have friends that you and they're not just friends, they're family. You know, you have family members that you don't have to talk to all the time. You don't have to see all the time, but you know that you're connected. And you know that connection is not wavering. That's who Pepper is to me. And that's what I can only hope that I am to you.
Yes, you are, Carol. Wow.
I can only hope and pray that I am to you. We help each other to recharge and to rebuild. So, you know, Pepper, it's so interesting that you would be on the show tonight because today is Thursday, and on Thursdays we have Thursdays with Dr. Z, right? And Dr. Z, she gives us our mental health tune-up. That's what she does. And when we were talking about sharing our journeys together in radio and in media and music and all of that good stuff, Pepper said, well, you know, we got to talk about life too. And we both paused and she said, you ready? She said, I'm ready. That's what she asked me. She's, you ready? And I'm ready. And I'm saying all of this to say that, you know, we talk with so many people about their lives. And quite honestly, when you see us, you see the smiles and you feel the love that we share with others, but you don't oftentimes know or see what's behind that smile.
Yeah.
So we thought we would take that moment to start the conversation about that right now, because here we are coming upon the holidays, and even Dr. Z, who's coming in our next hour in a few minutes, as a matter of fact, Dr. Z said, I think we need to talk about mental health, you know, and the holidays. When I told her, I said, oh my gosh, you're talking about me. So it was just so befitting that you would be here tonight.
Yes, yes.
And Dr.
yes.
Z said, let's talk about that, because here we are, the two of us. And this is typically when we start getting on that phone or trying to reach each other saying, okay, so I need a little recharge, reboot. I need to talk. I need to talk, you know, and it doesn't even have to be anything related to the holidays, but it's because the holidays are coming that we feel heavier, we feel overwhelmed. So I know Dr. Z is coming. I don't know if she's ready to join us, but she's coming. Oh, she says she's ready to join us. All right. Well, Dr. Z is going to come join us. Okay, everybody. So give me just a moment or two to get her situated, and we're going to get her in the room while Pepper and I talk through life with Dr. Z. Dr. Z, hi.
Hi, Dr. Z.
How are you, Pepper? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you?
I'm good. I can't complain.
Dr. Z, for those of you who are unfamiliar, family, we, like I was sharing, typically host Thursdays with Dr. Z, and she is our mental health expert that helps us get over those humps. She helps us get through and to. And Z, when you said today, how about we talk about mental health as it pertains to the holidays? When I tell you, it was so, I said, look at God, because Pepper was coming on tonight. Look at God. So I'll start with saying, for those of you who are unfamiliar, I lost my father in 2014. Pepper, you know this. I lost my father in 2014 after caring for him, and then I lost my fur baby in 2016. My fur baby of 14 years. I lost him, and then in 2018, I lost my mother 2 days after Christmas. Now, my mother was my rock. As you know, well, Pepper, you know all of this, but my mother was my rock. So, and I've shared this with our family members in the past, that I was lost. I was lost after I lost my mother. And Dr. Z, I shared this with you. I lost a whole year after my mother passed. I still do not know I don't know what 2019 was. I remember her service was January 9th of 2019, but my memory does not pick up until the end of January in 2020, because I was on autopilot for the entire year. And as a result, holidays, I don't care what holiday it is, but if it's a celebration of some sort, of some kind, where family is getting together, or a gathering, or there's a gathering of loved ones, it hits me differently. It's not always as happy for me, and it's not always something that I now look forward to, especially because like Thanksgiving and Christmas were the holidays that my mother and father, that was for them. Whatever happened during the holidays, I did for them, because I like to see them happy. But now I don't have that. Now I don't have them. So I'm still trying to find different ways to get through the holidays, but it's still a struggle for me. It is a huge struggle for me. So because we were talking about that tonight, and Pepper said, well, you know what? You already know I have life as well that I can share. So I had invited her to the conversation, especially because we have you here, Dr. Z, to talk with us and help us through the holidays.
And Carol, your emotions that you're sharing is so common right now as we are bordering on Thanksgiving, Kwanzaa, Christmas. It's right now. Remember, we talked a couple weeks ago about seasonal affective disorder and how as the seasons change, it triggers feelings and emotions. It's the same thing for the holidays. Typically right around this particular time of year, it sets off an array of emotions for so many people. And that can be due to loss, as you experience, Carol. It can just be due to life transitions. It could be due to people maybe used to being with a larger family, and now they're with a smaller family. There's so many things that ultimately can trigger someone to just not really be excited about the holidays. And so I felt it necessary to talk about that today, because when we hear about the holidays, everyone wants to talk about how great of a time this is, right? And how awesome this time of year is. And it is for some, but that's not necessarily the case for all. And so your emotions that you experience is such a common emotion amongst so many people right now as we prepare for the holidays.
And Pepper, we share loss and detachment. Mine is as it pertains to my parents, and Pepper's is as it pertains to the love of her life. And we talk about how we see all these visuals, everything is marketed for families, for couples, and that stuff is painful. It is painful.
It is.
I know the holidays are. I listen, family. I know the holidays are supposed to be a happy time, and we're all supposed to look forward to them. That's the impression that I get. That's the message that I get, that we're supposed to look forward to and it's supposed to be happy. But I feel things deeply. I do. And I don't care whatever it is, because I love hard. I love so hard. If I love you, you are going to know it. You are. And I like I said, just, even though there's been some time that has gone by, sometimes it will hit me like it just happened. Like I just lost both of them. It'll hit me that way. Family, I'm looking at the time and I'm realizing that we do have to take just a short commercial break. But for those of our family members who have just joined us, I do want to say welcome. Welcome to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick. We are talking with my good cookie girlfriend, Pepper Thomas, from the Hot Pepper Show, and our beloved Dr. Z, because on Thursdays, that's what we do. We have Thursdays with Dr. Z, but for this break, I'm going to gather myself, but stay with us because we are coming right back.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on The Source.
Now, I'm going to read this because Cynthia Logan says, I beg to differ with your statement that it's a Jamaican thing. I am speaking from my lens, Cynthia. I'm not saying that it's anything that's not happening in other cultures. I am speaking from the lens that I know. I know Jamaican mothers to do it. I know Southern mothers to do it. She says, and upbringing where one is taught morals, values, scruples, etc., is not exclusive to any one culture and ethnicity. You're absolutely correct. But this thing that I'm talking about, that Dejan mentioned in the very beginning, is something my mother told me. It is something most of our Jamaican parents, well, all of our Jamaican parents who are good manners, because we didn't have a whole lot of anything. So good manners will take you where all the education and all the money in the world will not. And it really comes down to who we are as family members, Jamaican or otherwise. If you're going to do the work and work with your children, don't just hand things to them. Make them work for things. Make them understand and appreciate the value of things, because it just doesn't come to you.
And that's the hottest 60 seconds this week on The Source on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Have you always dreamed of becoming a millionaire? Check out the Pennsylvania Lottery's Millionaire Raffle, available for a limited time only. Tickets go on sale Tuesday, November 7th through Saturday, January 6th, 2024. Unless they sell out sooner, with 8 weekly drawings awarding 2 prizes of $50,000, each with the final drawing awarding over $5 million in prizes. The last drawing is Saturday, January 6th, 8 p.m., with the winning number posted at PALottery.com. The Pennsylvania Lottery benefits older Pennsylvanians every day. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Be sure to tune in this Sunday at 2 p.m. for the Physicians on Air show with host Dr. Alexander.
Let's ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The job search can be a difficult and frustrating process. Word's Livelihood Initiative was designed to help you find the right opportunity for your next professional move. Check out the recent openings posted on the Livelihood Job Board at wordworks.com. The Wagner Institute of Science is hiring a science outreach educator. The Bicycle Coalition of Greater Philadelphia is hiring both a director of finance and operations and an executive director. For more information on these jobs and others, go to wordworks.com and learn more about the Livelihood Initiative, brought to you by Word Radio, Progressive Black Talk Media. Celebrating 20 years of progressive Black Talk Media. This is WURD 900 AM and 96.1 FM, Philadelphia. Streaming online at wordradio.com and the Word Radio app. You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking with my good cookie girlfriend, Pepper Thomas of the Hot Pepper Show.
Okay,
And
you need to
we're also-
trademark that. You need to trademark that. My good cookie. My
That's
good
right.
cookie.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's what it is. That's what it is. And we are also talking with Dr. Z because, tonight is Thursday. Today is Thursday. And that's what we do on Thursdays. We have Thursdays with Dr. Z. So, welcome to the top of the second hour, that is. I shared just before the commercial break about how the holidays are difficult for me. And I was sharing earlier that Pepper and I bonded in so many ways, but we also bond over life.
Mm-hmm.
And lifes, doesn't it? As they say, life be lifing, as they say. Yeah, life be lifing. So Now, Pepper, I'm inviting you to share, but I don't want you to feel like you have to do so.
No, I want to share.
Okay.
It's time.
Okay.
It's time.
Okay.
What I'm sharing is that I lost someone very special to me. It was 3 years this past June, June the 28th. And I would say something I've never experienced before in my life. I've experienced death. You experience death growing up, but this was different. I was truly in love with him, unconditional, just truly like, knock you off your feet, truly in love. And it happened within a span of 2 years. So I met him in June and he passed away in June, 2 years later. And passed away, met him in June, celebrated a birthday in June. 3 days later, he has a motorcycle accident. And a week after his birthday, he dies. All in the month of June. And, I had started going to, my dad passed away maybe 4 years prior to that. And, daddy's girl. And when my dad passed, I started going to grieving classes once a month. And Dr. Tanya Cunningham was superb. Not knowing, had never been to grieving class. Started going to grieving class, and it was the best thing that I could have ever done. I don't think my family kind of knew or realized what to do or how to do it or how do you do that or why are you going to talk to someone? And I just stepped out and says, I have to because, okay, let's see. What did I learn in our grieving class? Christians spiritualize everything. They spiritualize, oh, they're in a better place and oh, they're not suffering anymore. Mm-hmm. And oh, you don't want them to suffer, do you? And he would want you and she would want you. And I didn't want to hear any of that. I was cool with my dad. My dad was different. That was my father, and I had him for 50 years. But when Tony passed, it was a whole different ballgame. So all the things that I learned grieving for my dad to get through that was totally different over here. It was like, wait a minute. So I didn't want to move. I didn't want to get up out of the bed. I didn't want to comb my hair. I lost like 15 pounds. I was like, this is not real. And I'd never wanted to kill myself, but I didn't want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I didn't want to pick up a gun. I knew I didn't want to take any pills. I knew I didn't want to jump off the bridge, but I was like, I just didn't want to be here because he wasn't here. And I started speaking to a counselor, and I still speak to them. I've been speaking to them for maybe 2.5 years, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. like clockwork. And I have to honestly say that if I would not have done the work, I would not be in the place that I am right now. And that's the honest to God's truth. I had people to embrace me. Everyone who knew me thought, oh, she's different. Why are you not the same? Where's your energy? You're not smiling. And I couldn't explain it. I could not explain why I was feeling like this, but I just knew that I was empty. I felt like half of my heart, they say you have an aching heart or a broken heart.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I had gone to the doctor because inside it was twisted. Like I felt this pain. And the doctor says, it's broken heart syndrome. And I was like, what? Because it was like, I don't feel like I'm having a heart attack, but it's like inside. And I have to say, I had the gentleman that did the grieving class was Barry Franklin and Marie Franklin. They are God sent. Because we as a Black community, we don't want to talk about it. And we have to talk about it. We're not taught to talk about grief. We're just taught to sweep it under the rug and it's going to be okay. And you're going to pray your way through it. But it didn't work for me. And I would tell people I was a human before I was a Christian. So the human side of me, I'm hurting right now. I'm hurting it, but people were not understanding that. So I had to detach myself. I didn't do radio for 1.5 years. I could not even open the mic. Will Downing called me and says, you have to get back on the radio. We need you. You're playing our music. No one will hear our music. You have to do it. And I says, I can't do it. It's too many memories. I can't. Okay. So then he shares with me about, the past of his mom. Is that, and I said, he says, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to call you back and you got to do it. Take your time, but don't take too long. You've been going a long time now. So I decided to come back, and I'm in a place now. I realized on my birthday, and I had told, Barry and Marie, and I was telling Tanya that I have gotten to a place now on my birthday. I realized that Tony is not coming back. He's not going to walk through the door. He's not going to pick up the phone, because at some point it was like, yeah, I think he's not gone. I know I'm dreaming. I know I'm dreaming because I would dream about him. I would dream about him touching me. I would dream about him, blowing air in my ear. It was just like, and then I was like, what am I imagining things? Like, he did die, right? I know he died.
And
So
you smell them too.
you smell him? Yes. I would smell his cologne. It was just so I realized on the 25th of October that he is not coming back, and I want to live. I want to live. I enjoyed love. I enjoyed being loved. I enjoyed being touched, kissed. I enjoyed it. And it was a beautiful thing. And there was a lesson in meeting him. I was supposed to be a part of his life the last 2 years of his life. I received something from him. He got something from me. And it was a beautiful love story.
It was.
It was a beautiful love
really
story.
was. It is. It is a beautiful love story.
Yeah, it is a
Andre.
beautiful.
It is.
And the ironic thing is, when I met him at the hospital was because my brother-in-law had a motorcycle accident.
Pepper, I
And
did
then
not
2
know
years
that.
later, he dies in the hospital because of a motorcycle accident. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And I have to say that Karen, I think Karen is still on here. When Tony passed, she took me to the cemetery 3 days after they buried him. And from that moment on, I was in Houston, an hour 45, 2 hours away from where I live, every month, visiting the cemetery, writing on balloons, writing messages on balloons, releasing them, having the Bluetooth in the cemetery, sitting down in a chair and just enjoying, just trying to get it, crying, and I met some amazing women at the cemetery that I still keep in contact with now, who were coming to see their loved ones, and we had no idea. We didn't know each other. But I did that for she drove me to Houston once a month to go to the cemetery. My sister would drive me. One time I went to the cemetery at 9:00 at night, left the house.
Yeah.
Because it was better for me to be there. I felt closer to him. It was like, I just need to be there. I just need to be there. So I did that for, close to 2 years, going every month, sometimes twice a month, to a cemetery.
Yeah. Kay says she's still on. She says she is still on, and she's sending you kisses. She said, I'm still here.
Yeah. Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
I'm curious to know, Pepper, like for you, as you've heard me talk about how I am with the holidays. How do they affect you?
I'm better. This is the first year I've really taken in my birthday, because your timeline on your phone that knows everything, and the timeline on Facebook. Oh, guess what you were doing 2 years ago? Oh, guess what? So when I woke up on my birthday, it was like, hey, 4 years ago, you and Tony were here. Oh, wait, guess what? 6 years ago, you and Tony were here. And on that day, I kind of almost went into this slump. And then I was like, I had to talk myself out of it. Like, come on. It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
Y'all.
It's your birthday. You got to do it. So Christmas has never been the same since my dad passed 8 years ago. Has never, it's just, and I don't want to say it's just another day, but it's just not the same. It's like,
Pepper, I can relate that. So now last year, when I woke up on my birthday, I was in the fetal position. and I couldn't get up. And I had a gig that day.
Wow.
But I couldn't move. I could not move. And my puppy she is so intuitive. And she kept giving me forehead kisses. And I said, Mommy, I can't do it. I can't do it today. I just can't. I felt so heavy, so heavy. And I was missing my parents that day, especially. And I eventually got up. I got up at the last minute, y'all. And if you were there, I had a gig in Maryland. So I drove down myself. I wanted to be by myself.
Right.
I just needed to be by myself. And I drove down. Y'all, if you were there, you will remember because there were some other friends of mine. They surprised me and came. And I was coming out of the bathroom and saw them, and I just broke down. I broke down because I needed that support. I needed that. Y'all, if you were there, because my little ponytail was hanging. It was halfway. I looked crazy. I looked crazy. I kid you not. I really did. And one of my girlfriends, Mardia Reed, you hear me talk about her. She does my hair. She said, come on, babe, let me just get you together real quick. Come on. And she took me back into the bathroom and got me together because I was a hot mess. I was a mess. But I can relate to that. This year, it was different. On my birthday this year, I felt them in a different way. Like this year, I felt them. And I was a little kid on my birthday this year. You heard me. I went to the farm. I sure did. I fed the goats. Yes, I did. I fed the goats. Sat in the picture. I sure did. I was a little kid, but it felt so good to just be careless. I did the hay ride, the walk through the corn maze and everything. That was what I wanted to do. I know some of y'all call me crazy. I know, but it was so much fun. It was so much fun. But I'm saying this to say that, I go up and down, up and down, up and down. And last year during the holiday was the same way it was for my birthday. Now this year I felt myself. I feel myself slipping. I'll feel, but I'll have moments.
Yeah.
And I was telling you, Pepper, I was just saying, I said, I've been so emotional. Y'all, Z, now I didn't share this with you. I was talking to another one of my BFFs. I was talking to her and I said, oh yeah, such and I said, and I broke. I said, oh my goodness, what's happening to me? I just broke down in mid conversation. And y'all, let me tell you about the universe, because as soon as I broke down, I said, and then Carl Thomas comes on the radio. We didn't even hear the song until he said, I'm emotional. I said,
wow.
See.
Yeah.
See. But it was, you know what I took it as? I took it as God saying, it's all right. It's all right. So it made us laugh because it was in the moment. But Dr. Z, I am curious to know what we can do to help us through the holiday season, especially when we are navigating the loss of our loved ones. Oh, you're muted. Wait.
I'm sorry. As y'all were talking, I was taking notes because so much of what both of you shared is how we navigate the holidays. I love, Pepper, how you started off just acknowledging that spirituality is our everything. It's our foundation. It defines much of who we are. But sometimes I always speak especially when I speak to churches and I speak to pastors and just even members in churches, that sometimes we need God and a therapist, right? And so while we never negate or take away the power of God and what God can do as a comforter, sometimes you need to sit down and you need to think this thing through. Because while we want to know that God comforts and God heals and God cares, sometimes in the moment we need to talk about something else. Because while we know that, we're not feeling it in that moment. And that's a real emotion that I think a lot of people don't accept, because we're trained to say that God is the end all and be all, and he is. We know that, we believe that, but sitting with a therapist helps you partner your faith with your works, and in turn, it helps you turn out a lot better in the end. And so, first and foremost, I say kudos to you, Pepper, for even acknowledging that, because so many they won't do that, and they struggle a lot especially around the holidays. And so first is figuring out, how do I partner my foundation, which is my faith, with something practical, which is therapy, and allow me to work together to heal the brokenness that I've experienced as a result of the loss. Another thing that I think that you both have shared in indirect ways is embracing the process of grief, right? There is 5 stages of grief. The first stage is denial. We don't want to accept that this has happened in our life. We don't want to accept that this person is gone. We're in denial. He's coming back. She's coming back. My animal, my family member, they're coming back. And so we go through a denial phase where we're not even accepting loss for what it is. Then anger, right? Anger, why? Why them, God? Why them? So many other people in the world that take it away, but you say this person, right? Pepper, that sounds familiar. You take away this person. Why are you taking away this person? So truth be told, some people experience just internal anger in the world. And if we can be honest, sometimes people experience anger with God. And as a result of that anger with God, sometimes people step out of church if they're not careful, because they're not working with a therapist to understand and embrace loss. But anger becomes an emotion that if we're not careful, we misplace it and do things with it, right? Some people take that anger and then they use substances or other things to cope with this holiday or with this loss. You have bargaining. God, if you just make me feel better, God, if you just bring this person back, or if this, I'll do this if I can get this, right? We go through that bargaining phase of something, I'll do anything just to replace this emotion with something else. Then we have the depression phase, which is ongoing, right? Sometimes it's, Carol, you shared this. Sometimes you might feel good, and then sometimes you might not feel good. Sometimes you might feel a level 5 level of sadness, and sometimes you may feel a level 10 level of sadness. Carol, feeling like I can't get out the bed. I'm struggling to just go do what I naturally know I'm called to do, which is I can't do it. I'm going to do it because I got to do it, but I really am struggling to do it. That's the depression phase. And then last but not least, at some point, as healing begins to happen, as time begins to run its course, we go to the acceptance phase, where we accept the loss, which I heard you say, Pepper, for what it is. It doesn't mean we don't still grieve to some extent, but we accept it as loss, and we find meaningful ways to move on and embrace the holidays. The thing about the stages of grief is that they're fluid. There's no start and stop, right? There's 5 phases. If you looked up the theories, it'll tell you it starts with denial, but truth be told, it can start with anger. Then it can go to denial. Then it can go to acceptance. Then it can go to bargaining, and then it can go to depression. There is no one size fits all way of how someone grieves. When you ask the question, Carol, what do? The first thing we do is accept the emotion for what it is, right? We don't hide the emotion. We don't sweep the emotion under the rug. We accept it. We understand it. We embrace it. But the most important thing that I heard Pepper say that she did was that I find help to help me navigate through it. Because if we don't find the help to help us navigate through it, the emotion consumes us. And if we don't have the skills to fight through it, it then overtakes us. And then we lose interest in things that we typically enjoy. And if we're not careful, we're not able to find that interest back again.
Family, did you hear me? There was a whole meal right there, family. Yep, you right there. If you have just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life right here on WURD with yours truly, Carol Riddick. And I am joined tonight with Pepper Thomas of the Hot Pepper Show and Dr. Z, because that's what we do on Thursdays. We talk with Dr. Z. And tonight we are talking about navigating the holiday season. We're talking about our mental health and wellness and navigating the holiday season. Listen, we're inviting you to the conversation as well, because we know there are a lot of us that are navigating and just trying to get through. So, again, we're inviting you to the conversation. Feel free to call us. Know that the phone lines are open. And feel free to continue to comment on our socials as well. And I will do my best to read your comment aloud. But we're going to take a short break. So stay with us because we will be right back.
And now, in the midst of challenging times, our Black spaces, our voices, and our stories are under attack. Our goal? To reach 2,000 members by the end of the year. We need your support now more than ever. Word Radio has been your trusted source for Black talk media for 20 years, and we want to continue making history for another. This is urgent, and the time to act is now. Help us move forward and up to reach our goal. Visit wordradio.com and join the movement. Let's stand together. Let's make a difference. Go to wordradio.com and become a member today.
Word Radio Digital Tip of the Month is brought to you by Comcast.
With the cost of today's devices going up every year, you might want to think about buying a refurbished gadget for your next upgrade. Here are some things to think about before you buy. There is a difference between refurbished and open box. An open box gadget is usually still new, while refurbished devices have been repaired or restored in some way. Make sure you buy devices that were refurbished by the original manufacturer or have been factory certified. It might be a good idea to get a warranty in this case, otherwise you may fall victim to an as-is product that doesn't work. And finally, don't buy any refurbished electronics that don't come with some sort of return policy. You don't want to get stuck with a final sale that ends up dying after a week. Buying used can be a great way to save money while still getting a like-new device. Just make sure you do your homework first. Stay tuned to WURD for more tips and stay connected with us at wordradio.com.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, making sure they're safe and comfortable. But it's just as important that you take some time for yourself. At AARP, we can help with information and useful tips on how you can maintain a healthy life balance, care for your own physical and mental well-being, and manage the challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you. You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Love and Life with Carol Riddick on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media, on air and online at wordradio.com. We are talking with Pepper Thomas of the Hot Pepper Show, who just so happens to be one of my good cookie girlfriends, and with Dr. Z. I keep saying it because I know you like it. I know you like it. We're talking with Dr. Z as well because it's Thursday, and you know that's what we do on Thursdays. But our family members are also talking with us, and I want to share because I see your comments. Danielle Vidal, that is, shares, hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. And Eric shares, how awesome is that? A friend till the end. Danielle also follows her comment with saying, it's great to have a sisterly bond. Nasir says, you can feel it in the interview. Peace and blessings to you both. And Summer says, this is a great topic. Such a great topic. Thaddeus is joining us as well. And he's sending greetings to us all. Well, we receive it and we send it right back to you, Thaddeus. Thank you so much. That's Thaddeus Juan Cradle. Eric shares also, tonight is special. Three sensational, talented queens together. The universe is better already. Ooh, Eric, you're such a sweetheart. Trich Ebony shares, this holiday season will be very difficult for me because I lost my grandmother in December of 2022. And 54 days later, in February of 2023, I lost my mother. My two queens are gone from this earth. I know I have two more angels watching over me. However, I do miss their presence. Yes, I feel for you. I'm sending you extra love because I know how that feels. I know how that feels. Just know that you're not alone. You're not alone. And Malcolm shares, wow, so sorry for your loss. So sorry. He also shares that he can relate because Christmas hasn't been the same for him since 1997. That was the last time his mother and grandmother and he had dinner together. Oh my goodness. He also shares that his girlfriend loved Christmas and she passed away in 2005. Oh, Malcolm, my heart goes out to you as well. I'm so sorry to read that. And Von Don shares, Dr. Z is the absolute best. She talked me through a panic attack today. Oh, wow. Oh, Von, thank you for sharing that. Listen, we love Dr. Z here. You hear me? I tell her every Thursday, I'm looking forward. I so look forward to our conversations because she not only educates me, but she helps me through some things too. She does. Kimberly Bailey shares, this is heavy, beautiful, and impactful. We needed to hear this. Kimberly, thank you so much for that. So much. I think it's so important. And Pepper, you said it too. You know, we don't talk enough. We don't share enough. You know, we talk on the surface, but we don't really share about what's going on, and we're not honest. We're not completely honest when we do. Oftentimes, we're not completely honest when we do. And family, you've heard me say it plenty of times. I believe that communication is key. It's just so key because you never know what you share might be instrumental in the journey of another person. You just don't know. And I mean, there's healing in it for us, for those of us that share as well, because it's helping me to talk with you all about it. When I share, it helps me, you know, and when I cry, when I cleanse, that helps me. And to know that I'm not alone by myself, or that, you know, you can relate, you can identify, that's helpful. And it makes me feel better. You know, so thank you, family members who are also sharing and being transparent, because I know that's not easy as we sit here and, you know, we're purging and going through all kinds of emotions on our end. I know you must be too, just, you know, just recalling, just having the memories, just going through it, walking through it. But you know what? I will say this. I say it all the time, and I'm going to keep saying it too. I have a happy inside my hurt. I have a happy in my hurt. I really do, because every single one of my loved ones that I miss dearly, they know and they knew that I love them. I love them. I love them. I love them just as much today as I did when they were still here in person. And they know that, and they knew it, and I could still feel them. So I do have a happy. I have a happy. I hold on to that happy. And I recall those moments when they made me laugh and all of that good stuff as well, so that I can feel my happy all over again. It hurts. Yes, it does hurt. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But I know I have a happy inside my hurt. And I know you do too. And I know you do too. All of us, we do, because we have those moments that we can call upon. You know, as
And
pick
Carol,
yeah.
can I share this with you?
Oh, you both can. No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And y'all were talking, two things came in my mind. First and foremost, Carol, you asked the question before the break, what can we do to help us navigate? And I gave that overview of the stages of grief, but there's another piece to it, which is taking time to connect, right? And both of you have shared this sisterly bond that you have. And Carol, you said it and you hit it on the nose, that we share surface stuff, but we never go deep. And that ability to be vulnerable and have a sister or a friend or a family member where we can share our hurt is so necessary and is so pivotal. Because while everyone may not have a therapist, right? Everyone may not sit in a therapy chair and sit with a professional. Although you all know I'm going to advocate for that, right? However, having a friend, having a sister, having someone that you can just be vulnerable with, you can just cry with, laugh with, sit in silence with, whatever it is that you need. Go to a pumpkin patch and a maze, whatever it is that you need. Having someone to do that is so pivotal. The second thing that I thought of as you both were speaking is that as people who have influence and have a voice to empower and help people, whether it's through singing, whether it's through a radio station or a TV station, we all are wounded healers, meaning we all experience hurt. It's how we embrace our hurt, how we deal with our hurt, and we allow ourselves to open up to have conversations like this that makes other people feel comfortable with having these hard conversations. And so I just wanted to give both of you your props because you both have a voice that speaks to the people. And as you share your vulnerableness, as you share your hurt, as we see in our comments, so many other people have experienced it too. And so we all are wounded healers. And as we heal ourselves, we help heal other people in that process. And so that's all I thought of as you were talking. And I just wanted to share that with all of you.
Thank you, Dr. Z.
I'm like, Z. You're welcome, Pepper. Okay, Dr. Z. Head nod.
Pepper, what were you about? You were going to say something.
I was going to say, I didn't mention this, but Tony had passed in June. And my big mama passed in August. So she passed, and she had just turned 100.
Oh,
so
wow.
She just turned 100 in July. He passes in June, and then she passes in August. And what I did was, mentally, I compartmentalized the grief. Because I told myself, she was 100. She was 100. She lived a great life. She's 100 years old. Why am I crying because she's 100? She's 100. Like Tony was in his 50s. I was like, so what I did was I put her over here, and I kept her in the corner. And I says, I'm trying to deal with this one over here, so I can't deal with that right now.
Can't feel them both right now.
Put her in the corner. Went to the funeral. I'm looking at my big mama in the casket, and I'm breaking down because I see Tony in the casket. I don't see my big mama. I see Tony, and I'm going, and people probably thinking, man, she really taking her grandma's really hard. I'm like, no, because my big mama was 100, in my brain. She's 100. So that's how I had to get through it. Like, you just said, I don't know how I did that, but I just compartmentalized. I says, I got to put this on the back burner,
You know what, Pepper, I'm listening to you as you're talking about trying to move on after having lost two people that you love. And you're telling yourself, well, Big Mama was 100, but you don't love her any less. You don't love her any differently. You still feel the detachment and the loss, but you're telling yourself, look, I have to deal with this right now because this is the immediate. This happened first, and okay. But I can only imagine that your grief was compounded when you were looking. You were looking at her. You saw her, but you saw him too.
I saw, yeah,
and everything you were probably holding said,
And my dad always told me, he always said this, as I got older, I got it. He says, now you think when you go to a funeral, people are not crying because of the person that's there or the funeral they're going to. People are always dealing with the person that passed a while back or the person they have a connection to. That's what the crying and the grieving is about. That's what the crying and the emotional, because he says you think that people are there because of that person, but people are at a funeral because of other things,
That's interesting.
He always told me that. And as I got older, it's true. I've gone to funerals before. I love the person at the funeral. They pass, but my brain is thinking about
Oh
somebody
my
else.
good Pepper.
Yeah,
Let me
my
tell
brain
you
is like,
something. Let me tell you how that just hit me because I don't know. Y'all know, first of all, y'all know I'm one big teardrop. Y'all know that about me. I feel everything so deeply. And I will never forget, I was asked to sing at a funeral, and
Mhm.
I did not know the young lady.
Mhm.
Um, but I felt an overwhelming sense of loss and sadness. And after I sang, I gone into the hallway and I had broken down. I was a mess. And I remember someone came out and she hugged me and she was patting me. She said, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss." And I felt so badly because I did not know the person. But as you're saying this, it makes sense to me that in that moment
Mhm.
I was once again processing the grief.
Mhm.
I was having memories and reliving all
Mhm.
kinds of
Mhm. Mhm.
things and relating as well to the grief that I was feeling from those that were in attendance. Because I promise you, I feel like we were all empathic at times, but in that moment, I really feel like I was feeling a lot of the grief that had been in that room too. It was just, and I felt overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Overwhelmed with sadness. It was a good reason why I contributed to my feeling of overwhelming sadness. I do want to share. There he is, Pastor Daniel Black. I was watching. I was wondering. I kept looking. I said, "Where is Pastor Black?" That's Pastor Black of Gospel Temple Baptist Church. He is joining us tonight. I always look for you, Pastor, and he shares their strength in numbers, especially when one is experiencing similar issues. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. And Eric shares that if you allow anger and sadness to live in your heart, if you let it, it will make a home there rent
Rent
free.
free. Yes.
And it will.
Yeah.
There is so much truth to that. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. Family. Yes, I am talking to you. I sure am. If you just joined us, you are tuned in to Love and Life. Woo, with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. Um, as they say, life be lifing. That's what they say.
It's
Well,
true.
life is lifing, okay, and it is lifing full time
Mm.
these days. But we are talking about our mental health and wellness as we approach the holiday season. We're talking about how we can navigate it, what we can do, and I'm curious to know from you all, family members, if you don't mind sharing, what do you do? What do you do? What are some things that you do to get through the holidays? Do you have any new traditions that you've implemented, or maybe some things that I can consider trying, or anything that you can share? I'm curious to know. I'd like to know. I'd like to know. But I'm talking with my good cookie girlfriend, Pepper Thomas of the Hot Pepper Show. And we're talking with Dr. Z, because Dr. Z is helping to guide us and help us to navigate, this holiday season as well.
I
She's
have a
helping
question
us
for
with
Dr. Z.
Absolutely.
Dr. Z, the question is it necessary to prescribe medication when someone is dealing at the beginning stages of grief and mourning? And if so, do they eventually get taken off the medication? Or
Mm.
like, how does that work with the chemical imbalance that's going on, that you hope that it gets better, but you want the medication to kind of help them to navigate? Like, how does that work?
That's a great question, Pepper. And so it's a multifaceted answer.
Well, wait. I do want to stop you for 1 second. Dr. Z, I'm so sorry. Hold that response. Hold that. Because it's time for us to take a commercial. Yes, we've got to run into a commercial break. Family, don't be mad. Don't be mad, okay? But stay with us, because we're just going to take just a short one, real short. But we will be right back.
Word Radio is sharing a harvest for the world. Now through December 31st, visit wordradio.com to find information on upcoming Give Back events in the Philadelphia area. If your organization is hosting free clothing giveaways, food drives, free workshops, community dinners, and more, please share the details using the form on our website. Visit wordradio.com and look for the Harvest banner. It's harvest time, and we're sharing information on those giving back to the community. The Harvest is brought to you by Comcast, Pico, Keystone First and the United Way. We are WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
King C. Gillette knows you're dedicated to your barbershop routine, but how do you maintain the beard hair you already have? The King C. Gillette Beard Thickener helps to reduce patchiness and strengthens hair's resilience to breakage. Apply the King C. Gillette Beard Thickener daily to see a thicker and fuller beard in just 14 days. It's highly scented with King C. Gillette's signature scent. Just trim, wash, and soften. With King C. Gillette.
Don't miss exciting basketball action when the Temple men's basketball team battles Columbia on Saturday, November 18th at 1 p.m. at the Leacourt Center. Kids tickets are as low as $10 on game day. Visit owltix.com. The Pennsylvania Lottery benefits over the training of the day.
Words of empowerment.
Nathaniel Lee. I would say this because I was once young, and I said the same thing every young person said. I didn't think my elders knew what they were talking about because times have changed. So I would say to the young, every moment counts. I don't care how young you are. I don't care. You may think you have forever. You really don't. Before you know it, you're going to be my age, because I said the same thing. My mother said the same thing. My stepfather said the same thing. And now they're older, just as I'm older. So I would say every moment count, no matter how it feels. You do not have eternity. So make every moment count. Make good decisions. Make every decision the best decision you can, because before you know it, life is like a shadow. Before you know it, it's over.
This is Words of Joy and Empowerment on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Audio provided by Love Now Media. These words of joy and empowerment are brought to you by Comcast, the United Way, and Bank of America.
What is love?
You're listening to Love and Life on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media.
I think I know what love
Well, hello there, family. Welcome back. You are tuned in to Love and Life with yours truly, Carol Riddick, right here on WURD. We are talking about the holidays, and we're talking about navigating a loss through the holidays. We're talking about maintaining our mental health and wellness. And before the break, Pepper Thomas of the Hot Pepper Show asked a question of Dr. Z, and I had to interrupt. So I'm so terribly sorry, but Dr. Z, you were about to answer her question.
That was a great question, Pepper. And so when we talk about medication, typically when we're dealing with grief, most people don't need medication. Medication is typically prescribed when a person cannot, if I can say, shake their level of sadness and grief, and it has paralyzed them to a place that they cannot do their normal day-to-day actions, right? They are chronically sleeping, they are not going to work, and so they need a pick-me-up, if I can say, some type of antidepressant, some type of anti-anxiety, or maybe some type of sleep medication to help them just kind of process that initial loss or that initial trauma that led to the grief. However, what typically should have happened over time is as the person takes the medication, partner it with therapy, they get better in therapy. They learn coping skills. They learn different ways, as we're talking about today, how to manage the loss. They titrate themselves off of the medication and back to their what would be their norm prior to the loss or the trauma. So yes, they will take medication if they need it, but ideally a person talk it out through talk therapy that will give them some interventions that they need to kind of navigate that loss. But the flip side of that is if some people can't, talk therapy takes a while. You got to work through it, but you still got to, as you both said, life continues to life, right? You may need that drug, that psychotropic, that antidepressant, whatever it is to help you get through that phase of grief. And so that is typically how it works. But some doctors will give a small dose of antidepressant, anxiety, or sleep medication to help with that initial onset from that trauma. Does that answer your question?
Yes,
Pepper?
it does. It does. Thank you for that. Yeah.
So, Pepper, I have a question for you. You shared with us about going. Was it you said a grief class? I believe. What of what did that consist? Was it a group?
It was a group, and of maybe it might be the young lady, Dr. Tanya Cunningham, comes in from Fort Worth to Austin, and she comes in once a month, and she's been doing that for, I think, probably 7 or 8 years with the Life Celebration, which is a funeral home. So this is a funeral home called Life Celebration that offers this to, yes,
Wow.
it's free to anyone who wants to come. So if you've lost a loved one, they will tell you we have a grief class, and it's every fourth Sunday of the month, and it's for an hour. And she comes in and hands you out the papers, and you don't have to talk because it's a group setting. Some people never say a word. They might sit there and cry. But you're not obligated to talk.
Right.
It's just being there and just taking it in. And she just goes over steps, like each month is different. I think November is going to be the subject is going to be the empty chair. Yeah. So when I did that the first year I did that, the empty chair, my dad, what I did was the holidays, you put the chair, and my dad would always sit at the head of the table, and we put things on the table that reminded us of him. So we put his picture up, and we set the plate, with the utensils on the side, as though he was sitting there eating. And so that kind of, even though he's not sitting there, it's like the empty chair that no one wants to talk about. No one wants to talk about the chair that's empty, that people don't want you to sit in it, but they don't want you to sit in it. It's like, well, what do I do? We need some space. We need to sit. Yeah. So yeah, she does different subjects every month, and it's a great class. It is a great class.
It sounds like it. They should travel with this. It sounds like it. I do want to share that our family member, Miss Lily, is joining us. Hi, Miss Lily. Always a pleasure to have you join us. Joey Dixon is joining us as well, and he's sending one love and jazz to everybody. Kimberly Bailey shares that she's been a caregiver for her bedridden mother for a little over 10 years now. Oh, Kimberly. Oh, God bless you. Thanksgiving and Christmas are the holidays that she went all out for us. So it was incredibly hard for me to celebrate both holidays on account of that. It was 4 years ago that I started creating new memories and appreciating the fact that although she's not what she used to be, she's still here.
Wow.
Yep. I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Oh, Kimberly, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you all, family. Again, I so appreciate your transparency and just your time, your energy, your attention, your spirit. Just truly, I truly do. Dr. Z, I'm going to ask you what you can share with us to help us through this upcoming holiday season.
I think both of you share such rich information tonight for the listeners, but I will kind of just pivot back to the same thoughts that we kind of talked about already. And I would say, one, embrace your emotion. Your emotion is yours. It's real. Can't anyone take it from you. They can't tell you how to feel during this holiday season. Embrace it, but don't stay in it as much as you can. Get help. Talk about it. Connect with family members, connect with friends, do your best to push yourself just a little bit beyond what you're feeling. Because if you stay in it too long, as I read a caller say, that feeling of sadness and depression will remain rent free within your mind and heart. So you want to try your best to push yourself. But the ultimate thing is embrace your emotion, right? Experience it for what it is, get help, talk about it, and understand that grief is a process. This year, you could feel great. This year, you could feel sad. Next year, you could feel sad or you can feel great. It varies, and just embrace it, go with it, but have someone with you that you can journey with as you experience this emotion. Because the worst thing you can do is journey through these feelings alone.
That's the truth. Oh, God bless you. Dr. Z, thank you for that. While I still have the both of you before me, I just want to say thank you so much personally. Just thank you so much, Pepper. Thank you, Dr. Z. Thank you, as always. Thank you to the both of you for sharing your time, your energy, your attention, your spirit, and your knowledge with us. And again, thank you for your transparency as well. I so appreciate you both. I truly, truly, truly do, more than words can express. So I'm happy to have you here, and I'm happy that the two of you shared this time and this subject with me. I'm happy about that. And family. Woo, Pepper, I hope you will come back to visit with us because I had too much fun with you here tonight.
Will. Thank you for inviting me. I want to say that this is big for me. So I don't get interviewed, okay? Nobody ask me no questions. I ask all the questions.
You ask the questions, right, Pepper?
I ask the questions. I'll be like, did nobody know nothing about me? Nobody know nothing about me. I didn't know about you. That's why.
Well, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You said, girl, okay. All right. Okay. First she said, well, I don't know. And then she said,
I did back out. Yeah,
she did.
2 days before I was supposed to be on here.
Yeah.
I said, I can't.
She sure did.
I had a bad week. I can't.
She did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, that's all right. Look, because I won't ever ask you to do anything that will make you uncomfortable. I will
great
never.
job for pushing past it. I just
She did.
Because I was like, they sent a thing saying, hey, can you confirm you gonna be there today? And I was like, oh, okay, confirm.
I'm so glad. So glad. And I love the way your spirit feels today. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes. So I'm glad you'll come back too. And Dr. Z, God willing, we will see you next week. God willing, we will see Dr. Z next week. So family, ladies, I love you both and have a good night to you both. Have a good night to you
and
both.
Dr. Z, I'm gonna get you information from Carol.
Sounds good.
Okay.
And Dr. Z, I'm going to have to contact you after the show because Ron has a question for you. So I have to. Yep. He called in the first hour, and I wrote the question down. I wrote it down, so I'm going to call you afterward. But for now, I have to say goodnight to our family members. So I will speak with you, ladies, and then, as they say, in a Black woman's minute. All right.
That's right.
So family, OMG, family. Just praise God. Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Do you hear me? Just praise God. Ooh. As we wrap tonight's episode, I cannot thank you enough and have you know and understand just how much I appreciate you. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. Most importantly, I truly do. To all of our guests, my good cookie girlfriend, Pepper Thomas of the Hot Pepper Show, and to Dr. Z. I love you both. Just know that and put that in your pocket, if you will. To the entire Word family, especially Niall Jax and Nick Steptoe, and tonight, Jordan Booth for his help. Just thank you all for all that you do. I cannot be me without you. Family, know that I love you. You hear me? I love you, but God loves you so much more. I need you to know that. And remember, we're all in this together. So be good to you, please. But please be good to those around you. Have a great rest of your night, family. Have a wonderful weekend. And be sure to join me, God willing, next Monday through Thursday, 7 till 9 p.m. Eastern Time for another edition of Love and Life right here on WURD, Progressive Black Talk Media. Have a good night, y'all.
It's the WURD Hot 60. Hot 60. Here's the hottest 60 seconds you missed this week on Reality Check.
And when you think about it, Karen, we have tethered ourselves to these electronic devices. Now, you and I both grew up in a time where we didn't have a phone. We didn't have a computer. So we were kind of the secondary folks who became tethered, whereas we have our kids, our grandkids that have never known anything but being attached to an electronic device. And we're seeing how that's impacting their mental health and how that is impacting their ability to maneuver the world and to interact with other people. I know when I come out of my house, if I don't have my phone, I'm panicked because I feel like I can't do this. I can't pay for that. I got payment apps on my phone. I don't know how I'm going to find this. How am I going to call that? What happens if, I lose it and I got to